Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So this week's match is a little just kind of off the cuff. We've got purple good stuff, which is just pretty much just trying to pull all the best thing that purple has ever had and just kind of throw it all into one deck without any big overarching strategy. Just trying to play the best cards and then just make the deck kind of work. Kind of how other decks can kind of do the same thing without one big overall strategy. So we're trying to stay away from the whole Lilith loop, super combo orientated, something a little more generic. And then on the other side we have Hexeblaumon. Okay, this is just very straightforward Hexeblaumon, trying to get Hex on field, trying to keep all of our opponents' Digivolution sources off the field so they can't do anything, while also trying to be able to push for game. So that's the trick with Hexeblaumon, is sure, you can stun your opponent out, but you need to be able to also win at the same time while doing that. So that's the trick, trying to find that happy middle ground with this deck. So I picked the best match I think I could, where both decks really got to shine. So hopefully you enjoy. Also, this month's memory marker is Tanamon still, so make sure you check the link in the description below for our Patreon. This is our reward for the month of August. Super cute. If you're playing green this format, you definitely want one of these little guys. They're super adorable. We are changing the leaves up just to make them a little bit smaller and a little bit more in line with how Tanamon looks kind of in the card there. If his leaves are just a little bit smaller, but super cute. If you don't want to play Yokomon like everybody else that's running green, this is a great alternative for that. Alright, so blue going to kick this off, running the Omnimon, and immediately goes into the Balukomon. Omnimon great for this deck, honestly. It's pretty much always going to be live. Then just starts out immediately with a Memory Fixer for the mat. Also works great in this deck. Purple then going with the Meramon and Gabumon on top. Pretty standard purple opener there. Great for those opening turns, trying to draw into a whole bunch of cards. And then the Devimon on top of that. Pretty standard opening play for purple. Pretty much in all purple variants, I would say. But a little bit different here. Going to go straight into the Black War Growlmon. And then going to play a Drakmon here for 3. Since the opponent's going to have that memory anyway, might as well just go ahead and probably play out an extra body on field. No effect from the Drakmon though. Blue just going to go into a Grizzlymon here for 2. Just being a little defensive, and then going to drop another Tamer. So dropping the Duo Tamer now. Now that he sees the vanilla on field there. Well, I say vanilla. No Digivolution source. That Tamer would be super live. But then goes into a Devimon. And then straight into a Myotismon. Okay, so setting up a nice big field there. And we'll put the opponent to 3 there with the Memory Fixer. No effect from the Duo Tamer since they Digivolved on top of it. Here we go. We see same play here. Upamon and the Gomamon. This is the Gomamon that does the same thing as the Balukomon, which is really nice. He is 1 cheaper, though, so that hard play cost here of 3. Suspend the mat to trash a Digivolution source. And then the Balukomon here will then trigger to gain 1 memory back. So now we really start seeing the memory efficiency going on with this deck. And let's see what else what would they do the past turn? Okay, yeah. So the new level 4 here, which will trash 2 Digivolution sources. 1 left off of that one, and then that'll also trigger the Gomamon that's underneath that, for to bring it back to their turn, and then goes into the Weregarurumon for to give that security attack +1, the starter deck one. Purple really gonna have to start getting aggressive here. Brings out that level 5, and then we see the Metal Garurumon making a comeback in the BT5 format here. So we'll probably see some Digiburst action here. We see a double Trump Sword. That would be pretty phenomenal, honestly. Double Trump Sword would be pretty brutal right now. Decides to swing first, though, with the Myotismon into security. Ooh, hits into an Omnimon. Well, that lets you know your opponent's playing Omnimon. But at least you got rid of that before swinging into with something else. Here they do Digiburst here. Almost gets rid of the Gomamon. Decides to get rid of the baby instead. Yeah, you want to keep that draw 2 instead of just the draw 1. To Digiburst those guys away to, let's see what the option they're going to go with here. Looks like the Necrophobia. So they get to play a free level 5 here, and then they decide to go ahead and swing in with the Metal Garurumon. Uses the Black War Growlmon to unsuspend it by popping the Myotismon. Very interesting combo right there for sure. And only checking one security though. Swings a second time. Ooh, hits into a Hexeblaumon. That is unfortunate. Metal Garurumon just only at 11k. Definitely a little bit more risky in this format. There's just too many, I think, too much big stuff that you got to worry about. And then hard plays a Gazimon. Unfortunately, does not stop the Tamers from gaining crazy amounts of memory. But will at least stop all these Gomamons and Belucomons that are... there's currently 3 in play right now. So I guess shutting those down is still pretty important. Alright, here we see this other level 6. This is Regal Cussmon. So when it swings here, you can trash a Digivolution Source and then draw 1 card. Hits into a Trump Sword. But yeah, the works really great with the combo of this. Unfortunately, there was no target to remove here. It does have Security Attack +1, though, from the Were Garurumon, so ends up getting into a little extra hit there. A little bit faster than it could have been. So... and then it's going to pass turn with the level 5 of the evolution line. This is the one that trashes 1 from everything. So again, no trigger because there was no targets for it, but you got to do what you got to do to pass that turn. Also, it puts it has the inheritable of same as Were Garurumon, so you can give something else security attack +2, which could certainly matter if they can somehow clear something. Ends up dropping the Vilemon here. We're bringing up the Vilemon and then going into a Gazimon. A second Gazimon here to keep that memory blocking going. Unfortunately, still just makes the Tamers extra live. So kind of a trade-off of what do you value blocking more, the Tamer by not playing it, or all the Gomamons and the Belucomons. Here, though, Hexeblaumon finally making his appearance. Going to swing, trash the Digivolution Source onto the Vilemon. Now the Vilemon can no longer block. Alright, and then we hit into... that is Earthshaker there. Had to pause it for a second. Earthshaker, no targets here. Only can delete a 5 and a 4 that are unsuspended. So no targets there. Does hit into a Necrophobia, though, on that with that security attack +1 on that second hit. Brings out a Black War Growlmon, though. So got to be careful. Could definitely set up for some possible megas. And definitely now with the mat coming into play off that second swing, the opponent will, and they grab back a Devimon. That's extra scary. 2 rookies on field, so really hard to stop all that. Does go with a blocker, though. Hopefully can maybe save that Hexeblaumon from that Devimon there. Purple going to go ahead and promote up the Drachmon. And Digivolves immediately into the Devimon instead of waiting to try to bait the blocker. And just clear some security. Game is getting really close here, though. So yeah, you gotta block that there for sure, because they have enough swings right now to close out the game if Hexeblaumon goes down. So you got to protect Hexeblaumon for sure. Draw 1, trash 1 off of the Demi-Meramon there. Here we see another Digivolve here. Looks like a 2 cost to go into a Devimon on top. So a second Devimon in play here. So it looks like Hexeblaumon is going down one way or another. Devimon is going to finish him off, even if it takes 2 to get there. Unfortunately, though, Hexeblaumon did his job just enough to stall the opponent out from being able to swing for game. Opponent then drops a second Vilemon here, probably worried about the Omnimon, so blocks 1 with the Vilemon, and then a Omnimon comes down for game. Could definitely close it out here. So having to hard play another Vilemon, even though it puts the opponent at 7. Yikes. Here we see a 5 cost drop. Okay, we got a Hammer Spark here. Going to put them back up to 3. And there, now you can go into the Were Garurumon, so that's a level 5 on field. And then if you got another Hexa, yep, there it is, Hexeblaumon to pass turn back to the opponent. And again, shutting them down. So blockers are no longer live. You can't just hard play a blocker to get away with this. So going to have to deal with that Hexeblaumon. No rookie ready to go with another Devimon either. So the opponent definitely going to have to work for a little bit here. And they just respond with straight up Trump Sword. So just go ahead and clear that off. It also saves them from losing the game. So good for that Trump Sword there for sure. Opponent's not going to be able to hopefully not be able to clear them. Here we go. We see the swing again. Clears off that, but then we see the Omnimon finally make his appearance. The exact card that Purple was trying to avoid earlier, and ends up taking it overall. But it was actually crazy. It was a lot closer than we actually realized here. So the Anubis on the following turn, with clearing the Hexeblaumon with that Trump Sword, if they could have survived one more turn, they could have gone into Anubis here, and Anubis would have brought back a rookie with Rush. They had another Digimon in the raising area there, so Purple, and with the mat on field, they had exactly enough to go into the Anubismon, which puts them at 3 swings. So literally, Purple good stuff, 1 turn off. It literally came down to needing an Omnimon for blue to win, because if not, they were probably going to lose on that hit back. We did check the security too, in case you're wondering about Hammer Spark. It could have been in there, but it was only just 2 rookies. So Purple on the next turn could have certainly taken it. So pretty crazy that it actually came down to as close of a wire as it did. Very interesting seeing these decks. First time getting to really pilot Hexeblaumon for myself, and first time that they got to face it. Not really super used in the meta, but I was actually kind of looking at it. It has a pretty cool matchup against a lot of decks, just because of all the digibursting that's going on, as well as just hard playing stuff. So you've got things like, you know, Anubismon in purple that's always hard playing all these things for one. You have Zwart being able to play a whole bunch of stuff from trash, and if it's playing a bunch of blockers, those blockers aren't going to do any good against Hexeblaumon. So even kind of calls out Zwart a little bit. However, you do need an answer for Zwart, so just keep that in mind as well, that it could be a little dangerous. In a previous game that we played, it came down to, as playing blue, I didn't have any way to clear the Zwart, but thankfully I was able to immediately push for game fast enough. You can at least trash away all of Zwart's Digivolution sources, which will then just make it stuck with Hexeblaumon on field. So if you can at least do that, that's a little bit of way to management, but it's still very, very tricky. So stay tuned for later this week. We're going to have deck profiles for both of these. We'll do Hexeblaumon first, and then we'll show the purple good stuff here. We will change it a little bit. There was a few cards that we felt were a little dead in this matchup, so I'll show you what we had in mind before, and then what we actually decided we would want to switch to moving forward with the deck. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you would, please like the video and subscribe. Just a little bit of help goes a super long ways. It helps the channel out tremendously, gets my videos out there, gets them seen. And if you really, really want to support the channel, check out the links in the description below. I'll have a link for my Patreon, which is displayed right here. You can get access to my Discord server that I have, as well as you can get the memory markers that we've had. These are just a few of my favorites from the past that we've had. The current one, Impmon's baby, as well as Gabumon's baby as well, Sunomon and Yamon. These guys are super adorable. I definitely love them so much. And every month a new one changes out, so make sure you check that out. As well as we have our new playmats. This is why I recreated this video. It's because our playmats are here finally, and they are super cool. I alternate between the black and white every single month for whoever wants to support this tier, as well as I have a tier just higher than that, so that way you don't also have to lose out on a memory marker. You can get both the memory marker and the playmat, just in case you want both. Super awesome support from everyone that has supported in the past and who will support in the future. You guys are awesome. Also, if you want to check out my merch, my Teespring link is in the description below for that. We've got, you know, the shirts that I wear on the channel that has the logo across. I love when I see people representing my merch in public. It is like one of the coolest feelings I've ever had in my entire life. Very, very awesome. As well as phone cases for you people that love Digimon like so much like I do. A friend of mine custom made all these to fit these specific phone cases themselves. So the prices are a little bit higher just because I have to pay her back, as well as make a little tiny bit of profit because of how much, unfortunately, they take for their cut for Teespring. But like I said, if you can't do any of that, please just like the video and subscribe to the channel. Every time we hit a new mile marker for subscriptions, I give out free merch of all different types. 2000K, I think we're doing one of the playmat giveaways. So definitely be subscribed and ready for when that comes.